Okay, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. Just place it out there. All right, let's have a look what's going on in the bonus world. We've got the Chariot jumping out on us. So I'm not sure of the significance of Cancer energy for you, but it can very often mean forward movement after a period of being stuck. Let's have a look. Whoop. And the star as well. I'm loving it. Okay, so it looks as though for many of you, you've gone through a period of healing and you're now ready to move forward. So you may have healed something that's been difficult for you to heal. And now you've got forward movement coming through, which is good. Okay, yep, so you're moving away from something. So the Six of Swords is a card that talks about moving from tumultuous waters into calm waters. It implies that you may be taking somebody with you on your journey, but very often I feel like this is that energy of certain aspects that you're taking with you and certain things you're leaving behind. After all, this person has all six swords in his bow. So what it's saying here is that you've learned everything you could learn from the past situation. There is nothing more left to learn, and you may have had other things that you have grasped or grappled with that you're taking with you on your journey because you feel that they are necessary in terms of joining you. All right, so there's been great change here. This is really interesting because I just did the daily message and it talks about making change to be able to get another opportunity at something. So if you've got a business and you keep doing it the same way and something isn't coming of it, then the universe is saying something needs to be tweaked or changed in order for you to move to the next level. But sometimes the change comes from deep within, not necessarily, a change in the way that you're presenting something, for example. It can be a change in the way that your attitude is, or a change in the way that you see things. So there's definitely this feeling that change is coming. Now we have the work card here. So I feel like there are two energies sitting here. I feel first off, you may have changed your approach to something that you've been working on. So if you've been working on a project or a way of doing things that hasn't been working for you, then you are working on something to help change the way you see things. So you are working on something. So this could be internally working on something about yourself, or physically working on something about a job. Now, it could be that you've moved away from a particular job because you needed the change, or you've moved away from a situation because change was required. So let's have a look and see where we're going. Oh yeah, give it to me, baby. So there's that extra pentacles. So I feel like for some of you here, you're moving from the 8 to the 9. So it's like somebody has stepped in and given you the opportunity for a brand new beginning, and it's come as the result of that change, which is really interesting. So, sometimes we get sick or bored of the position we're in. We know we're ready for something else. Maybe we've craved a change. Maybe nothing has happened because of that. And there is somebody in here. Oh my goodness. Yep. See, there you go. There's like this energy. This is a different deck from the one I was using for the other reading, by the way. But clearly the reading said, in order to move forward, you had that change card. Something has to change in order for you to get a second opportunity. I almost want to say, if you haven't experienced success before, if you've been impeded on your road to success in whatever area it is, what the universe is saying here is something needs to be tweaked or changed in order for you to move forward. Now, I really feel for many of you, this is not a physical change. It's not like if you move house, you're getting a second chance. It doesn't feel like that to me. It's almost like you need to change something about the way you see things, the way you think, the attitude you have, the ideas you have. Maybe you're stuck in negativity. I've tried and it's never going to work, and I've been trying but it doesn't work, that sort of thing. Maybe that in itself is holding you back. So whatever this is here, something has to change in order for you to move forward. Now the Two of Pentacles is here. So I'm going to just sort of really feel into this Two of Pentacles, because sometimes for me it does talk about having a choice between two things. 4:44 on the clock. I'm noticing the numbers a lot lately. it may talk about a choice of two things, but I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's either the choice to make these changes within yourself, and maybe the changes are a little uncomfortable for you. Maybe you've got to dive deep to really get those things to change. Or maybe you have to understand how to be more logical or more heartfelt in your approach. And you need to have a very good balance of both. But whatever's happening here, you're trying to balance something out to find a new solution. You're looking for a solution for a problem, and the solution is you need to change something in order to move forward. I really feel for some of you it's the way you see the world, but you're not getting that. Yeah, see, it may be that you're sitting and you're dissatisfied with what you're being offered. Maybe you are manifesting, maybe you're getting lots of opportunities, but it may not be the opportunity you're looking for, so therefore you are not seeing the opportunities that are coming. So for example, you know, if I'm sitting there and I say I want a full-time job, I want a full-time job, I don't want to, you know, do anything else, I just want a full-time job, and the jobs may come at me freely, but every time I'm like, I'm not taking that, it's not full-time. But actually, if I took that, the possibility is it could become full-time later down the track. So that's what I'm sort of feeling here. It's like perhaps the opportunities have been coming at you, but your attitude is negative, so you're not seeing those as opportunities. I feel that there. Okay, so beautiful. This is exactly what it is. So there's some sort of thinking, maybe even a victim mentality here, but some sort of thinking keeping you stuck. And what you are learning is through some sort of change here, is you are learning how to work with the universe. So you're learning how to manifest something that you want more accurately. So it may mean that, you know, you're trying to manifest a full-time job. All these other jobs keep coming at you and they're casual. Maybe you're starting to realize here that if you jump at one of those casual jobs, maybe even ask the question, will this lead to full-time work? Then I feel like you may start seeing things. That's the change you need to start seeing things from a different perspective. Because at the moment you're in this thinking here, this stinking thinking where you are being critical of things or having a less than positive attitude towards things. So you're being a victim here. It's that energy of being stuck in a way of thinking that is no longer serving you, but you can't see that because you're so deep in that way of thinking. You may have even accepted that. And I always think of that person who said to me, I'm just being realistic. And my response to that was something somebody had said to me on here. But why is it when people are being realistic, they go after the more negative aspect of that? So I'm being realistic by saying I'm not going to get a job because I'm after this type of job and it's not coming at me. So therefore I'm not seeing any other options. And that is what has to change here, because here we see the truth. We see a brand new beginning. We see you moving forward. There is some sort of change here that needs to take place for you to be successful. But the change is not in what you're doing, it's in how you see things, how you see your world, how you understand how to manifest, how to bring things back into balance, keeping that balance. But some way of seeing things, some way of doing things is bringing you undone, I want to say. All right, so we have the 3 cups coming through. So the 3 of cups talks about friendship, celebrating with family and friends, having a good time. It often means that you've reached a milestone and there's celebration here. It is the number 3, so it does take more than just one person to do something. So maybe you're working alone and the change you need is to bring in a partner. It may be that you're working with people that you don't really see eye to eye with, and maybe you could do this on your own. But I'm feeling like here, either way, there has to be a change in the way that you're looking at things here. I'll get a little bit more energy. Yeah, leap of faith. All right. Maybe you're holding back and sort of saying, well, I can't do this because I don't have the money, or I can't do that because it would never work. Maybe there's some sort of energy holding you back here. I saw a really good meme yesterday on something, and it said something to the effect of, you have to choose to do something, not find reasons for why you can't. So that may be something that you need to think about. If this is you and this is your reading, it may be something that you need to really think on. You know, I hear people doing this all the time. Oh, we're saving up to buy a house. Well, we've got a lot of money in the bank, but we don't want to buy a house yet because we don't think we've got a big enough deposit. And you're like, the house prices are rising as you're speaking, so it's never going to be any different. Or we're going to wait to have a baby because we want to be more financially secure. And then one day you realize that ain't going to be the case. It's always going to be the same. So it's like they're here. I feel like this change that you are needing, you need to jump into something with both feet. You're finding all the reasons not to do this. I feel that's where the sort of energy of an attitude is coming through. Maybe you feel like you can't do this alone. Maybe you feel like you need somebody else to do it with, but yet you could do it by yourself. 6 of Cups coming through here, which sort of makes me feel like somehow or another you're carrying something here from your childhood. Perhaps somebody told you that things need to be a certain way. Maybe you're just fixated on the black and white rather than the shades of grey. But there's something here that says to me this is some sort of attitude that you've adopted since you were young. So I'm feeling really strongly here. You need to sort of jump away from this energy. I do have the King of Cups coming through, so I just want to see why he's there with the Empress. A lot of sort of repeat cards. There's the Chariot right in the middle of the reading, which came through before. And there's the 2 of Cups. Now, maybe for some of you, this is about the way that you are in a relationship. You know, I feel like sometimes like people will say to me things like, you know, I won't find anybody because, you know, I've set my sights too high, or people tell me that I have high expectations. And I always say to people, there is nothing wrong with having high expectations. Do not lower your expectations in order to find a relationship or accept less than what you're going for. But always remember that those expectations can come into play if something that that person is doing or has or whatever, that you can somehow change your attitude to. So there's okay to have high expectations, but be willing to compromise on some of those things or any of those things. And what I guess I'm trying to say is sometimes we're so rigid in the way we think about things and we want things exactly like this. And somebody comes into the equation and they're missing one thing. And all of a sudden you're discounting the whole relationship because one thing doesn't fit. Ask yourself, does this person meet the expectations I have? And am I willing to compromise on some of those things because it's right for me? And I'm not saying you compromise your own values. I'm saying don't be so inflexible that you give something a miss purely because it isn't exactly what you're looking at. Be open-minded enough to have a really good look at it and decide, is it right for you? Because if one of those expectations you have doesn't fit, maybe there's something you can compromise on there. And I feel this is what's happening here. So for some of you, this definitely looks like a relationship. And again, I have this energy of you meeting the perfect person, but they don't want to have children, and you do. So is there a compromise there? Well, possibly not. There isn't. So you wouldn't continue the relationship in those circumstances. There is no compromise. But, you know, if this person's decided they want to live on that side of the river and you've always lived on this side of the river and there can be a compromise there, well, then if this person fits everything else in your life, maybe that's worth considering. And what's coming through very strongly is there needs to be a change in the way you see things in order to have what you want. So you're not getting what you want because somehow or another you're not allowing yourself to be a little bit more flexible in your attitude. I feel like somebody's offering you love here, you see. That's why I said maybe for some of you this is about love. But there is something with this person that you feel you can't compromise on. And I feel like somehow or another this person may be coming back from your past because we have the past card here. You may be dealing with a Cancer because I have strong Cancer energy, but you also have this beautiful energy coming through. So I feel like you may be dealing with someone you see as a twin flame or a soulmate. But somehow or another there's something here that you are discounting because you can't compromise. Let's just keep going. We're at Page of Wands coming through, yeah, with the Lovers card. Two of Cups and Lovers card. Right, okay. Let's just get right into this now, because I feel like for some of you, we are talking about love. Have the King of Cups, Two of Cups, and the Lovers card sitting here with the Empress. Six of Cups as well. So I feel like for some of you, it's love. I feel like there is an energy here of moving away from something here. And I feel like this has come as a change of heart, a change of thinking, a change in your attitude. I see you working on something here. And whatever this is, it's taking you to the next level and giving you a second opportunity. There seems to be a balance you're finding now. There is something that you've been dissatisfied with that maybe you've discounted, but now you're understanding how to work with that. There seems to be this energy of stuckness here, but I see you seeing the truth here with that Ace of Swords. Now, whatever's going on here, general energies here, I feel like for some of you it's definitely romantic love, but I feel like whatever's going on here, it's like you need to ask yourself, am I willing to compromise or change my attitude in some way, shape or form without compromising my own values? So don't forget, changing the way you see things or do things doesn't mean you've got to change who you are, because the Ace of Swords is there. It just means you have to look at things a little differently. So if you're in love with someone and they meet 99% of your criteria and the 1% they don't meet, you're getting quite anxious about, maybe there is a compromise on that 1% so that you can have what you want. So I'm just going to have a little look and see if I can see what this means. We'll draw 3 cards at random. All right, so I have the Seven of Swords here with the King of Swords. I'm getting a lot of repeat cards. No, it's cracking reading. The reading just feels a little bit different. I do have the Moon card, sort of more Cancer, Pisces energy coming through with the Sun. I love it when the Sun and Moon come through together, because that for me is the energy of the Ace of Swords. Something being highlighted for you here. Something that you've not seen before. But maybe, as I said, you're so rigid in your outlook, you're not seeing something here that's hidden below the surface. And I feel like it's within you. I feel like somehow or another you self-sabotage. So it might mean that when somebody doesn't meet a certain criteria, that instead of looking at it from a different perspective, you're immediately walking away from it. So for example, like the job thing, you know, you're being offered jobs, but they're all, you know, a particular type of job, and you're looking for this, but you're not realizing that perhaps looking at one of those jobs may lead to something more further down the track. It might be that you're looking for a house and you want 4 bedrooms and you can't find 4 bedrooms, but you're not looking at the potential of the 3-bedroom ones to have a 4th bedroom. It's like you are limiting yourself by being stuck in a certain way of seeing or doing things that is not serving you here. It's almost like you're cutting things down before you really decide if it's right for you. So whatever it is, the universe is saying to you, you can bring in change. You can have a brand new opportunity. You just need to broaden your thinking a little bit, or change your outlook, or review your attitude. Somebody is coming in here, or something is coming in that's going to give you a fabulous opportunity. So before you say no, really look at what it is. Oh, now that's interesting. All right, so we have the closing door and the completion of something, which I feel is the completion to some way of thinking that is not serving you. Very interesting. I'm going to read this one. This says endings, completion, and your greater calling. When the closing door shows up, it's a call to recognize an ending, to terminate a relationship, job, task, or situation that has been dragging on for too long. Unlock the cage you have been trapped in and shut the door behind you. This is not the time to worry about what others might think or feel. Instead, break with routine. Consider what you think and how you feel, and be true to your heart's calling. It's time to walk out the door. If you do not see a door but only a solid wall in front of you, ask for assistance. Muster the courage to say no more. Remember as well that no one else needs to be wrong in order for you to do what you've known you needed to do for a long time. If the door is a project or a relationship, has been closed. If the door to a project or a relationship has been closed to you, stop knocking on the door. You've tried that already and no one answered, at least not in the way you would have liked. Take this as a gift, difficult and painful as it might be, but move on. Every door that shuts is an invitation to find another way, another path to your destination. Better to recognize this earlier rather than later. How many of us leave a relationship or job years after we knew it was time to move on? Stop wallowing in the pain and lingering on the reasons why things did not work. It is keeping you from your greater calling. Bow deeply before that closed door. Give thanks to the lessons and set yourself free. So I think that's very, very good to have with that reading. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.